Welcome to the Gordon Miller Show. Today, I wanted to discuss gridiron football, and not necessarily just gridiron football, just all sports teams. Now, I get it if it's like a new team, if it's like a new sport, say pickleball, where it's not really developed and there's not going to be a lot of teams. I totally understand that. I totally get that. But why does it have to be where, like the UFL? Here we have a gridiron football that's been established for a century, well over a century, and these teams. Well, frankly, there's not a lot of teams. There's only 8 teams. And the 4 teams make the playoffs. So in a way, it's interesting. But you think if it's more interesting, there'd be more teams. A perfect example is collegiate or university football. There's a lot of teams in all divisions. I mean, Division 1A, 1AA, Division 2, NAIA, and Division 3. There's a lot of teams. Lots and lots of teams. Don't understand why there's such a disparity between, like the NFL has 32 teams, and I get it. You're probably not going to have as many because there's more universities. But when you have UFL, and there's a lot of cities that could host these teams. Like one is Oklahoma City. They got a basketball team. There's a lot of teams out there like Salt Lake City, Louisville, Omaha. But even these teams could be the next NFL franchises. For example, there's look at the NFL franchises. When was the last new NFL franchise? It was a long time ago. I mean, 2002. I mean, so not extremely long time ago, like 50 years ago or 60 years ago. I mean, we had Cleveland. Cleveland came in '99 after a 3 or 4 year hiatus of not being. They moved to Baltimore. The old Cleveland went to Baltimore, and then the new Cleveland. Carolina and Jacksonville. The Tennessee Titans became, but they were still the Houston Oilers, and now, again, the Houston Texans is the last NFL franchise. Why is it that there's so many disparity when it comes to number of teams? I can think of, like, in even collegiate, you have how many teams in the Big Ten? You have a smorgasbord of teams in the Big Ten, but yet you have hardly any teams in, for example, Mountain West. I think, there's more and more teams. Pac-12. They disbanded the Pac-12 in order to have teams go to the Mountain West, like Washington State and Oregon State, and the rest go to our Big 12 and Big 10, like was Arizona State and Arizona, and then you have Cal and Stanford going to the ACC. Now, why am I mentioning all this? Well, because just to give you the information on how crazy it is, how you have such a disparity when it comes to sports. When it comes to number of the level of the playing field, there's just a lot of teams in one division and very few in another division. Now, if you want to go to even before collegiate, high school, you got some divisions that have like 25 teams, and you have one that have like maybe 10 teams. It just doesn't make any sense in football. American football where it's, you know, you have such a disparity. I'm not talking about talent here. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the number of teams. Obviously, the UFL is not nowhere near the NFL. Well, I mean, they're close enough. And it all goes even to CFL. There's not a whole lot of teams battling out for the Grey Cup. You think about it. I mean, there used to be some American teams that were in the CFL. You had like a team from Birmingham, Baltimore, Sacramento, and a few other teams from America that had the CFL. So CFL was booming. You had all these teams, and then they just folded. Like Sacramento folded, and only after a couple seasons. It just doesn't seem, like I say, I always think having the more the merrier, having more teams, and playing teams from different states when it comes to high school and things like that. You know, you think about it, you're stuck in one division, and you never play, you never can go beyond the horizon. I mean, you think about how advanced human kindness has come to this point, and yet there's so many things that that are truly, it's just not even, you know, it's one of those things where why the disparity in the number of teams when it comes to gridiron football, and like I say, about time for a new NFL franchise, wouldn't you say? But anyway, I just wanted to share that with you. Thank you very much for stopping by the Gordon Miller Show. Let me know what you think. All right. Thank you for watching.